Girl shoves Shia to the ground, while the other bullies laugh. This time, Shia refuses to stay silent. She gets up, shoves the girl's back, and pushes the main bully too. Then she mocks her, saying she is as skinny as a stick. When the girl tries to slap her, Shia grabs her arm and warns her that if she tries it again, she will regret it. Our series begins with a girl named Sion. She is overweight, funny, shy, and has no confidence in herself. Despite all that, she loves singing and dancing. She runs an online radio show, but without showing her face, so her fans won't be shocked by how she looks. After finishing her show, she lies on her bed and says her dream is to graduate from high school so she can isolate herself, eat, and sleep in her room forever. To her, that is the perfect life. Then she smells food and wonders if it is grilled chicken or meat. It turns out her family is having a barbecue, so she runs downstairs to eat with them. Her parents spoil her and let her eat as much as she wants. They do not care about her appearance and always tell her she is beautiful, even though she is overweight. But Sion is sensitive about it. She goes inside, looks at her family photos, and says, life is unfair because everyone in her family is slim except for her. On the other side, we see her twin sister Shia, who is the complete opposite of her in every way. Even though they are twins, Shia is slim, beautiful, cute, and charming. Her voice is not very good, but her looks help her land many advertisements. There is also a famous singer in her company named Song. He has a beautiful voice and many fans. Shia is one of his fans. She keeps watching him sing and wishes she could meet him, or at least see him up close one day. We then see Shia taking lessons to improve her dancing, and a reporter interviews her. It is obvious her friends are jealous of her because she is more famous than them. Then her manager comes in and tells her the company wants to do an interview with her at home. Shia gets nervous and does not know what to do because she is ashamed of her sister. She sends Sion a message telling her to hide so no one will see her. She says if people find out she has an overweight sister, they will mock her. At that moment, Sion takes down the family photos and hides them in her room. She locks herself inside until the interview is over. During the interview, Shia says she is proud of her parents because they always support her. When the reporter asks if she has any siblings, Shia lies and says she has an older sister, but she is traveling abroad. At that moment, Sion suddenly gets a stomachache and desperately needs to use the bathroom. She tries her best to hold it in, but she cannot. It seems the cabbage she ate earlier is causing trouble. She is forced to leave her room and quietly sneaks toward the bathroom. Shia keeps signaling to her so no one notices. Sion runs into the bathroom, and when she comes out, the interview is already over. She confronts her sister and says she heard everything. She asks why Shia told them she was abroad. Shia laughs and tells her she is ashamed of her and does not want anyone to know she has an overweight sister. She even says she wishes Sion would disappear from her life. Sion gets angry and imagines herself fighting back, pulling Shia by the hair and teaching her a lesson so she would stop bullying her. The next morning, Sion goes to school, and it is clear she has no friends. Everyone bullies and laughs at her. As she walks, she keeps her eyes on the ground and wears headphones so she does not have to hear their hurtful words. She sees her classmate John, and it is clear she has a crush on him, but he always mocks and laughs at her with his friends. He turns out to be just another bully. Sion remembers something that happened a year ago when she wrote him a letter confessing that she liked him and wished they could date, even for just one day. But one of her classmates read the letter out loud and laughed at her. Then all her friends joined in and mocked her too. John laughed at her as well because Sion is kind and timid. She could not defend herself or respond. Back in the present, Sion feels miserable and counts the days left until graduation, desperately waiting to leave school and go anywhere else. Later, her sister films another commercial with Song, but she keeps making mistakes, so they take a break. Song goes to speak with his manager and says he does not want to continue filming because Shia cannot sing and only relies on her looks. Shia goes to sit next to him and tries to get closer to him, saying she will help him act in the commercial, but he gets annoyed because of how arrogantly she speaks. He tells her he does not want to work with someone who has no talent and only uses her looks. Then he leaves. Shia is shocked by his attitude and starts crying because the guy she likes treated her coldly and harshly. Meanwhile, Sion is playing with her dog when it suddenly runs away. She starts searching for it all over the streets, looking everywhere until night falls. She eventually finds the dog standing near an old woman lying on the ground. Without thinking twice, Sion rushes to help her, carries her on her back, and takes her home. It turns out the old woman is a witch. She tells Sion that she wants to repay her kindness for helping her and asks her to make one wish, promising to grant it. Sion does not believe her at first and assumes she is a fraud, but she decides decides to play along anyway and thinks there is no harm in trying. She wishes to become beautiful and slim like her sister Shia. The witch gives her a necklace and tells her to wear it because it will make her wish come true. Cyan puts it on and leaves, still not believing any of it. But suddenly, she feels a sharp pain in her stomach, faints, and collapses to the ground. At the same moment, Shia also starts feeling sick during dance class and suddenly faints as well. When they both wake up in the hospital, they find themselves in the same room. Their mother enters and calls each of them by name. Confused, they stare at each other in shock and scream. Yes, their bodies have been swapped. Neither of them can believe what happened. At first, they think it is some kind of prank and try everything they can to switch back into their real bodies, but nothing works. Then, Shia notices the strange necklace she is wearing and asks about it. Cyan remembers what the witch said and realizes she was telling the truth. She quickly takes Shia and goes to the witch's address, but when they arrive, they are shocked to find the place gone. Instead, there is only a sign saying the owner is on vacation for 1 month. That means the two sisters are stuck like this for an entire month. With no other choice, they decide to live each other's lives for 1 month without letting anyone find out and without ruining each other's lives. Shia stays with Cyan and starts giving her advice on how to behave. She tells her to act arrogant and speak coldly to people because if she is too kind, they will see her as weak. Then she shows Cyan a video of herself dancing so Cyan can copy her. But when Shia asks her to try, she is shocked to discover that Cyan is actually a very good dancer. Cyan reveals that she has secretly been practicing dancing and singing in her room all this time without anyone knowing. Later, Shia asks how to deal with Cyan's friends, but Cyan tells her she does not have any. Shia mocks her for being a social outcast. When they return home together, their parents are surprised because it is the first time they have ever seen the two sisters talking like friends. The sisters go into the dressing room and help each other pick clothes. They also exchange phones. Suddenly, Shia's phone rings, and Cyan has no choice but to answer because she is now in Shia's body. It is Shia's manager, telling her to come because she has a commercial shoot. Shia tells Cyan she has to go or she will lose the job, so Cyan goes in her sister's body. There, she gets her makeup done and looks at herself in the mirror, feeling happy because it is the first time in her life she has ever felt beautiful. Everyone around her treats her kindly, and no one bullies her for being overweight. Meanwhile, Shia starts living Cyan's life and goes to school in her place. There, she meets John and his friends, who immediately mock her appearance. Shia gets furious and wants to fight back, but she forces herself to stay calm so she does not ruin Cyan's life. At the same time, Cyan is overwhelmed by her sister's glamorous life. She is amazed by how famous Shia is and how many fans she has. When she enters the rehearsal room, she sees the outfit she is supposed to wear for filming and is shocked by how small it is. She jokes that she is used to wearing clothes as big as rice sacks. Then she overhears Shia's friends talking badly about her. They call her arrogant and say that although she is beautiful, she has no talent and is useless. Even then, Cyan says nothing. When filming begins, Cyan struggles with the dance because she is still shy and nervous. Unlike Shia, who is naturally confident, she messes up badly. Afterward, she feels upset because she failed. Her teammates get angry and blame her, saying her poor performance affected the whole group. Cyan apologizes to them. Her sister's friends are shocked because Shia has never apologized before. They assume she is just pretending and leave. Cyan goes into the bathroom and starts crying. Holding the necklace, she wishes she could go back to her real body and her real life. Meanwhile, Shia takes advantage of being in Cyan's larger body and starts eating all the food she was never allowed to enjoy while dieting to stay slim. She calls Cyan to ask how rehearsal went. Cyan tells her she is nervous and scared, but Shia encourages her. She tells Cyan to trust herself, reminding her that she is now in her body, which means she is beautiful and slim. She tells her to imagine she is alone in her room, singing and dancing freely without pressure or anyone watching. Cyan is encouraged by her words and promises to focus on the commercial. She gathers her courage and tells herself this is her chance. She has to make use of it, succeed, and change her life. When the performance begins, Cyan steps onto the stage. She starts dancing with confidence and sings with a beautiful, powerful voice. The audience and the crew are stunned. Her voice sounds much better than before. Song watches her in amazement, and it is obvious he is starting to admire her. When the performance ends, the audience applauds loudly and cheers for her. As Cyan steps off the stage, she stumbles on the stairs and is about to fall, but Song suddenly catches her just in time. He checks checks if she's okay, and Sion thanks him. Then, Song goes on stage and begins singing in his beautiful voice. Sion watches him closely, completely captivated by him and his voice. He is the guy she had always dreamed of meeting. Later, Shia's manager praises her performance, and even her friends apologize, saying her voice sounded different and much better today. Sion is overjoyed by their praise and returns home. Her parents welcome her warmly and tell her it was the best she has ever danced and sung. Shia, however, is sitting there, clearly jealous of her sister. In a fit of jealousy, she pushes Sion into the water. Their parents are shocked by her behavior because they think she is Sion and have no idea she is actually Shia. Shia then goes to her room and tells Sion to come after her. When Sion enters the room, Shia throws a pillow at her and angrily asks why she sang at the performance. She tells her that everyone already knows her voice is bad, and now Sion has changed their expectations. When they switch back, Shia will not know how to deal with it. Sion apologizes and promises she will not sing again until they return to their real bodies. Suddenly, a message arrives on Shia's phone. When Sion reads it, she is shocked to see it is from Song. Shia immediately asks if she talked to him. Sion avoids telling her what happened between them. Shia is confused because the last time she saw him, he treated her badly and acted cold and arrogant. But now he is asking her in the message to sing a duet with him. Without hesitation, Shia replies that she agrees, then tells Sion to sing in her place so Song will fall for her even more. Sion is confused and reminds her that just moments ago she told her not to sing again. The next day, Shia goes to school and opens Sion's locker. Inside, she finds Sion's diary and takes it with her to read. As she reads it, she discovers that Sion wrote about her crush on John, how he rejected her because she was overweight, and how he and his friends bullied her afterward. She also reads that Sion sometimes wished she could die or disappear from life just to escape the pain she was living in. Shia is deeply affected by her sister's words. For the first time, she realizes how much Sion has suffered over something that was never her fault. Meanwhile, Sion is at dance practice. After class, she receives a message from Song, asking her to meet him on the rooftop. Excited, Sion goes to meet him. Song apologizes for the way he treated her before and for everything he said. Of course, Sion is confused because she has no idea what happened between him and Shia before, since her sister was the one in that situation. Still, Sion kindly forgives him. Song is relieved and happy. He tells her that since her voice is beautiful, they should stop holding back and sing together. As they talk, they realize they have many things in common. Song grows even more drawn to her and tells her he wants to get closer to her. Then he hugs her. Sion is happy to hear his words, but she becomes nervous because he is saying all of this to her sister's face, not hers. She quickly tells him she has to leave because her manager is waiting for her. At the same time, one of Shia's friends is talking to the manager, upset and jealous because he chose Shia to sing at the event instead of her. The manager tells her that Shia's voice is now better, so she will be the one performing. Sion walks in and finds them eating together, so she sits with them. Her teammates and manager are shocked because Shia is usually arrogant and always eats alone. Then her manager hands her food, and it is only a plate of salad. Sion is stunned because she is used to eating a lot, unlike Shia, who is always carefully maintaining her weight. Meanwhile, Shia finishes reading Sion's diary and decides she will get revenge on the entire school for what they did to her sister. As she walks through school, she spots the bullies. One of the girls is staring into a mirror, admiring herself and bragging about her beauty. Shia laughs mockingly at her. The girl gets angry and asks what she is laughing at, but Shia ignores her completely. Annoyed, the girl shoves Shia to the ground, while the other bullies laugh. This time, Shia refuses to stay silent. She gets up, shoves the girl's back, and pushes the main bully too. Then she mocks her, saying she is as skinny as a stick. When the girl tries to slap her, Shia grabs her arm and warns her that if she tries it again, she will regret it. John is standing nearby, watching, and tries to step in to stop her, but Shia turns on him too. She mocks him and says she could never like a spoiled mommy and daddy boy like him. Then she walks away confidently, leaving everyone stunned by the sudden change in her personality. She is no longer timid. She has become bold, fearless, and no longer cares what anyone thinks. At the same time, Song sits alone, looking through photos of Shia on his phone. Clearly missing her, he sends her messages asking to meet. When Sion sees them, she is overjoyed and goes to meet him on the rooftop. This time, Song confesses his love. He tells her that at first, he was afraid to get close because people would think he only liked her for her looks. But now, he says, he loves her personality and her beautiful voice. Sion is overwhelmed with happiness, but also hesitant because she is still in her sister's body. Still, she cannot hold back anymore and confesses that she likes him too and has feelings for him. The two agree to meet after work for a romantic date, but Shia's friend is secretly standing behind them, taking pictures without them noticing. Meanwhile, Shia is at home with nothing to do except eat. Bored, she decides to go out for a walk. She goes to the witch's house, but the witch is still away on vacation. After Cyan finishes work, she meets Song at the studio, and together, they plan the song they will sing. Cyan is overjoyed that a famous idol like Song likes her, and she begins wishing she could stay beautiful forever. Later, the two walk home hand in hand, happy together, but when Cyan arrives home, she finds Shia waiting for her in the garden, clearly bored and irritated. Because Shia has nothing to do in Cyan's body, except eat and sleep, the two sisters ask each other whether anything important has happened in their lives. But Cyan refuses to tell Shia that she is secretly dating Song while using her body. And Shia refuses to tell Cyan that she bullied and fought her classmates while using hers. Both sisters begin hiding secrets from each other, and both of them have already caused chaos in the other's life. Shia reminds Cyan that only 15 days are left before the month ends, and then each of them will return to her real body and real life. Cyan becomes sad because she does not want this dream to end. She wants to stay beautiful and keep being with Song. The next day, Cyan meets Song on the rooftop so no one will see them together and discover their relationship. Meanwhile, Shia goes to school and continues reading Cyan's diary. She learns that Cyan once auditioned for a singing and dance program, but when she overheard the judges mocking her appearance, she broke down, cried, and withdrew from the competition. Shia is deeply affected, realizing that people judged her sister's talent by her appearance without ever giving her a real chance. Later, she sees the school bullies practicing dance. They are doing it badly and forgetting the moves, so Shia laughs at them. One of the girls gets angry and tells her to show them how it should be done. Shia accepts the challenge and decides to make them regret it. She performs the dance far better than all of them. Everyone is stunned by how graceful and skilled she is. They cannot believe someone in Cyan's body can move like that. Even John is impressed. He starts admiring her new confidence, her talent, and the way she has changed. For the first time, he feels like he wants to get closer to her. That night, Cyan returns home and finds her favorite food waiting for her. She wants to eat, but Shia stops her and tells her not to ruin her body. Cyan is shocked to realize that Shia read her diary. She gets angry because Shia invaded her privacy, and the two sisters start fighting. Then they remember their bodies are still swapped, so each of them starts hitting her own body just to hurt the other. After that ridiculous fight, Cyan decides to make the most of the 15 days she has left. She plans to do everything she wants and get even closer to Song. The next day, they film the commercial together again. Afterward, Cyan and Song stay in the studio to write the lyrics for their duet. Cyan is shocked to discover that Song has actually been following the radio program where she sings. He tells her he loves the mysterious girl's voice, but since she never turns on the camera, he has no idea what she looks like. Cyan wants to tell him that she is that girl, but she is too afraid. At the same time, Shia is at home using Cyan's laptop and opens her streaming program. Without realizing it, she accidentally starts a live broadcast with the camera on. All of Cyan's fans suddenly see her real face. They immediately begin mocking her for being overweight and flood the stream with cruel comments. Shia panics and tries to turn the camera off, but she cannot. When Cyan comes home and finds out what happened, she is devastated. She runs to her room and cries, convinced that Song has now seen her real face and will hate her. Holding the necklace, she wishes everyone would forget what they saw. Then she cries herself to sleep from exhaustion and heartbreak. The next morning, she wakes up and discovers the live broadcast has been erased. Everyone has forgotten what happened. She thinks she must be dreaming, but then realizes the necklace granted her wish. Later at work, she tests it again to make sure. She wishes for her friend's clothes to tear, and it happens. Then she wishes for a certain food, and moments later, her manager walks in, carrying exactly that food. Cyan is thrilled to realize that every wish she makes comes true. But during one performance, Song starts singing on stage and forgets the lyrics. Cyan rushes to grab the necklace and wishes for him to sing perfectly. The wish comes true, but then she discovers the terrifying price of the necklace. Every time she makes a wish involving someone close to her, that person gets hurt afterward. Soon, news spreads that Song supposedly stole the lyrics to his new song and is exposed as a fraud. When Song sees the headlines, he locks himself inside the studio. Cyan keeps texting him, but he does not reply. So she goes to see him herself. She hugs him and tries to comfort him. Song tells her he is thinking about retiring, but Cyan encourages him, telling him he is talented, that he must keep going, and that he should not listen to what people say. Then she starts singing with him and helps him practice the duet duet they are preparing together. After they finish, Song thanks her and realizes how happy he is to have her in his life. Meanwhile, at school, Shia is approached by Cyan's former bullies. They ask her to teach them dance and promise they will never bully her again. Shia is pleased and agrees. She begins teaching them dance moves and gives them tips so they can improve faster. As the days pass, the month finally comes to an end. Shia is thrilled because she believes she will finally get her real body back. Cyan goes with her sister to the witch's house, but the witch is still away. Holding the necklace, Cyan secretly wishes that she would not return to her original body just yet. At least not until she finishes the duet with Song. She wants to hold on a little longer to the dream life she has always wanted. The next day at school, John tries to get closer to Shia and talk to her, but she coldly pushes him away and tells him to stay away from her. After school, Shia walks home and smells food coming from a restaurant. She goes in and eats everything she wants, but while eating, she feels guilty. She remembers how she used to mock Cyan for having no self-control, yet now that she is living in her body, she is doing exactly the same thing. At the same time, Song finally decides to pull himself out of the depression he has been drowning in. He calls Cyan and tells her he has decided to follow her advice and continue singing. He holds a press conference and explains that he was misunderstood and that the scandal was all a misunderstanding. But soon after, photos of him with Cyan begin spreading online. Everyone sees them, and reporters start asking about the nature of their relationship. Song refuses to answer and walks away. When Shia finds out what happened, she gets furious and starts yelling at Cyan, accusing her of ruining her image in front of everyone by getting involved with someone as troublesome as Song. But Cyan defends him and says Song is a kind person and that she loves him. Shia laughs at her and tells her she is fooling herself. She says that if Song ever learns the truth, he will leave her immediately. The sisters begin arguing. Then, Song suddenly appears and defends Cyan. Mistaking Shia for just another jealous fan, he shoves her to the ground. He has no idea that the girl lying there is actually the real Shia. Cyan is stunned by what happened. In that moment, she realizes the painful truth. Song could never love her if he knew who she really was. He would never even look at her if he knew she was the overweight girl behind the face he loves now. Cyan breaks down crying, realizing she has been living in an illusion all along. When she returns home, she takes the necklace and decides to go to the witch, no matter what. She has to return to her real body. But when she arrives, she is shocked to find out the witch has died, and her daughter is now in her place. Cyan tells her everything and asks what she can do to return to normal. The daughter explains that the only way to return to her original body is to hold the necklace and wish from the bottom of her heart to go back. When that happens, the necklace will disappear. Cyan returns and tells Shia everything she learned. Shia is overjoyed because she will finally get her real body back. But then, Cyan realizes she has dropped the necklace. The two sisters search everywhere for it and eventually manage to find it. But then, Shia's fans spot her, surround her, and force her to take pictures with them. The sisters barely manage to escape. As they run away laughing, they start remembering their childhood. They remember how they used to run together, play together, and laugh just like this when they were little. For the first time in a long time, they genuinely enjoy being together again. They grow closer and spend real time together like sisters. Later, Cyan goes to meet Song one last time so she can say goodbye before returning to her real body. She asks him not to be upset if she suddenly changes. Song hugs her and tells her he could never be upset with her. That night, Cyan and Shia hold the necklace together and both wish to return to their real bodies. But when they wake up the next morning, nothing has changed. They are still in each other's bodies. That means neither of them truly wished for it from the bottom of her heart, so they decide to stop forcing it and simply continue living each other's lives. One day, Cyan asks Shia to bring her song lyrics from home, but while Shia is on the way, she is not paying attention to the road and is about to be hit by a car. Cyan runs to save her. Both of them are struck and lose consciousness. They wake up in the hospital, and this time, they are finally back in their original bodies. Cyan is shocked when she sees the doctor. It is the witch, the same woman who gave her the necklace. The doctor tells her that her mission is complete. The sisters repaired their relationship and learned to love each other again. With that, she leaves. Afterward, Shia goes to fix the mess her sister made. She meets Song and tells him she does not want to continue anything with him because she does not love him. Meanwhile, Cyan is out walking her dog when John appears in front of her. He apologizes for everything he did to her and confesses that he likes her and wants her number. Cyan becomes flustered but politely refuses. She tells him she already likes someone else, and she means Song. She leaves and returns to her normal life. She continues singing and dancing on her online program. At the same time, Song now needs a singer for the duet after Shia leaves him, so he and announces a competition to find the best voice. Encouraged, Cyan enters the competition. When her turn comes, she is nervous, but she gathers her courage and begins to sing. As she sings, she remembers all her memories with Song and delivers a beautiful performance. The judges are deeply impressed. Song is captivated by her voice. It feels warm, sincere, and reaches straight to the heart. He feels like he somehow knows her, and he chooses her to sing the duet with him. They perform the song together, and Xian is overjoyed because this time she is close to the one she loves as her true self, in her real body, with her real face, with the real person he can truly love. And with that, she finally achieves her dream and begins her journey in music. She is grateful for the miracle that changed her life forever. And with that, our story ends here. Please like and subscribe. See you again in the